Alright, trying something new here. I'll record a little bit of a Tacan view here. Been doing this race for a while now. I finally managed to top my best speed. Here we have a few out. There's the racetrack. Take off here. Start is here. Go and climb, gain as much altitude here as possible. Start. Very fast run down to turn point 1, back to turn point 2, then back to turn point 3, and then finish where we took off. The hills here, the ridges here, come to play a lot. You've got to choose when to leave them, when to stick with them. This is the altitude over a given time. We'll zoom right in here. Start the race 4 times speed, and we'll play. Okay, so the takeoff is fairly standard. You can get a better takeoff than others. I find that if you start with less flap, you get a good run, and then you can kick the flap into takeoff. It also depends on the tow plane. Some of the tow planes are a bit weaker than others. For this run, I am red. All my other runs are the other colours. As you can see here, I've got a pretty good start with red. But if you see, there is someone right underneath me. There are actually 2 people underneath me, a blue and a green. So it's, there we go, breaking off the tow. Actually, there were 3. See, there's 2 reds, okay? I believe I'm the red close to the hills or to the ridge. Now, I've tried flying various speeds, centre of gravities. This one here, I'm topped out with water. Normally I go with 2 centimetres forward of centre of gravity, but I've only gone with 1 this time, and I'm flying as slow as I can in the lift, and it works. For the weight I am, the optimal speed is about, I believe, about 130, 40 kilometres an hour, and as you can see, I'm doing well underneath that. Getting back up to speed now. It's a great race because you pretty much start even within a couple hundred meters of each other, and how you manage that over the distance we're traveling. It really makes for a great race. Most of these times here have been chasing a time I've set. Well, most of these tracks here, I've been chasing a time I set weeks ago. I haven't been able to beat myself. I've taken a couple of days off, and as it happens, Murphy's Law, as soon as you come back to something and you're nice and fresh, you beat your record. I was getting to the point now where I was thinking that I was going to have to try and change a plane. I can fly another couple of gliders in this one, the Ventus 3 being one of them, which over the, I'm flying a Dyna 2 here, over the Dyna 2 can fly 3 or 4 knots faster when you max it out. And when we you get to the nitty gritty of this race, you are maxing it out. You're having to brake to stop flutter. Right, so we're getting to the start. I'll slow it right down. 1 speed. Zoom in. Now I was a bit late here, so I'm racing to get on time. As you can see here, I'm sacrificing a little bit of height to get here on time, but then I do a nice gentle turn in and I'm pretty much on time. Boom. I'm 3 seconds. Okay, 3 seconds. So I could have. So these guys here have started earlier, but because they started further back in the quadrant, I'm pretty happy with that start. I'm also up to speed pretty quickly. Now the solid blue line there is the direct line to the next gate. I've tried flying that line to try and shorten the distance. It hasn't really seemed to work for me, so I'm not sure if that's just luck or what. This one I wasn't concentrating too much on that. I was just flying, well, felt right at the time. As you can see here, I'm getting overtaken. I'm not too concerned about that. In fact, I don't even think I'm looking at this map at this point. I'm just flying my thing. I know that the green guy outside there, I believe, gets low and slow. It may not be this pass, but it might be the next. Not the next pass because we've got heading upwind, but the next pass heading back. The thing with this race is you don't want to waste speed on altitude that you don't need at the end. I find balancing act here as we're coming into the opposite blue line. Now starting to get some lift off the ridge. Going fast. Slow it back down again and zoom back in. The turns are also very important. You want to do a sharp turn. You don't want to waste too much time. You don't want to sink for a start off. You can waste a little bit of speed because going in pretty fast, climbing, but then you don't want to pull up too sharp that you kill your speed altogether. As you can see with the blue line here, I was trying something completely different. I was trying to fly slower and higher and see if I could average it out and beat myself. I ended up being probably, I think it was about 4 or 5 kilometers behind. So right now I'm in the lead. I've dedicated to the turn. Not too bad. Not too bad there. You'll see someone here, that dark blue. No, not dark blue. Here he goes. That other red. Just clips. Just the perfect turn. And here comes Mr. Blue trying something different completely, which is not working. Right now, to be this far out in front, I'm thinking that this is a pretty special run. So I'm fairly happy. It's now just maintaining. You don't want to lose too much height here and get out of touch with the ridges, but you don't want to fly too slow that everyone catches up and overtakes you. So I'm just you're pretty maxed out with your speeds here. Look, we're flying 319 kilometers an hour with the wind. You can't really fly any faster without ripping your wings off, which happens. You'll see a couple of lines down here will just drop off at certain points, and that's when a wing gets ripped off. Happy with how I'm taking this. As you can see, they're catching me a little bit, but I'm really, yeah, look, I've actually got height on them. And we're about to hit the mountain that we climbed in, so this is all getting into positive rates, and every time I hit a big rate of climb, I'm going to pull up a little bit, then stick my nose back down. I'm also trying to fly as straight as possible towards the next turn point. So here's the next turn point. Went a bit deep with that turn, and I'm not pulling as hard as I possibly can. You can see that one there has ripped her wing off, flying straight. It's got to be another wing ripped off pretty soon. That old green there, light green. You can see them falling down. One's impacted, light green is going to impact about there. Zoom out. So we're down a couple of races now. There's another one to go, I believe. I'll speed this back up. As you can see there's blue just coming through now. It's about to go the turn point, and we're kilometres. Let's just pause there. No, so we'll just keep going. Right, so again, getting challenged. Green, but as you can see there, he's quite a bit lower than me. So we hit these hills here again. It's all about trying to maintain your speed and your height. You see, there's blue way back there, so that technique has not worked. Okay, we're about to hit the ridge again, so this is where it starts to take off again. About to come into some positive climb. There we go, hitting 3, 4.6, 5, over 5. And you want to be as close to the mountain, as high up the mountain as you possibly can. You can see here, I'm pushing. Okay, so we're coming into the ridge, and I'm going to take a couple of kicks here, there, and the green guy is just diving where I'm climbing. He's going to climb here, but he just kills all his speed. So I'm climbing in steps, but keeping my speed up. I am getting caught here, but I'm higher up the mountain. Actually, I absolutely ace this run. And once I've got the height here, there goes green. He's slowing and climbing. Blue is a challenge, but he's now diving and losing speed on me. He's doing quite well. With this last turn point, you don't need to be so high. You've got a certain speed that you're gonna max out your speed flying home. So your glide path is set. So anything over that height, you're just wasting time braking and slowing to get down. Dark blue's doing really good here. But I'm also feeling pretty confident because I've got that extra height and I know I can manage my speed on the way down. which I could zoom in a little bit more here. So we're pretty even here right now as far as the race. I am a little bit higher than him, say 100 meters. We've also swapped sides, so I think I'm trying to stay on that lift. He's now diving for the quadrant, which is another way to, you can just sort of pass yourself by getting to that quadrant first. See, I'm cutting that line now a lot because I've got that extra height, so I can go direct at the point, the apex of the quadrant. He's a little bit lower, so he's going to have to travel further to get through that quadrant. Let's see what happens here. Turn. Way deep. He's not as deep as me, but I recover quite well. He actually ends up probably traveling a little bit further than me. If you drew a line from the time plate. And now it's just managing my speed. Okay, so coming into this, 280. Dump it, hit the flaps, 260. 260 is the side, 259 I think I hit. I'm pulling a few G there. I have pulled quite a few G there where you start to black out. As you see from the lines here, grey is about to rip a wing off. Where's grey there? And turquoise there is about to rip a wing off. Let's just stay with them until that. So now, navy blue is flown. These guys have flown out further from the ridge, trying to get out of lift. I'm staying with the lift a little bit more, but I'm dealing with my speed with my speed brake and my trim. Grey just ripped a wing off, crash. Turquoise here, trying to catch up. This is like, so in this race between these two, red didn't exist. So I'm trying to catch blue right now. So I'm pushing it with turquoise here. And not making much headway to the point where I push it too far. Get massive flutter, I'd say. And the wing's gone. And boop. Hit ground. Okay, so between me and me, but recent me, old me. Okay, so I'm flying a steady line here. Blue's gone all the way out to the right there, and now he's heading in towards home plate. So he's flown a little bit further. 297 kilometers an hour. Like, you can't fly any faster. Yeah. Actually, I think you can, but you have to put solid ballast into your wings. I'm not sure how that works, but I think you can put like a foam or something into here. This is water ballast. As you can see from the Vero here, where we are ripping almost 5 meters a second on a downward slope. Speed this up a little bit because nothing's going to happen. Doesn't look like Navy Blue's catching much. Speed I've slowed a little here, so maybe he is. But I know just before finish, I do push the nose down, and I think we'll see a max speed over 300 here. Not quite. Not quite. Okay, so finished now. 1, 2, 3 seconds to second place. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 seconds between first and fourth. Over half an hour race is not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, that'll do.